Hello, this is my very first video on my very first channel. I made it in response to a video that Haig Yorkie posted on his Chilled channel, which I will put a link to in the description. He was basically a video detailing what his thoughts were on the future of Minecraft now that Microsoft owns it. And in his video, what he said essentially was that if Microsoft leaves it all alone and just continues the community as it is, then nobody would have any problems. So on good faith that Microsoft would follow through on their word and not change anything, not try to mess with the modding community or the Minecraft community on YouTube, I have made this video, this channel. So as you can see, I have started a new world. In the void, I'm on top of the tree. Some people will know that this is the Sky Factory mod pack, but with a few interesting twists. The first of which being, as you'll see there in the top corner now, is that I'm playing in 1.7.10. The original pack is made for 1.6.4 and has not been updated to 1.7.10, so I did that part myself. The main change you will see here is that I have a quest book. It is from the Hardcore Questing Mode mod, and essentially what I did was I took the challenges that the original mod pack creator Bacon Donut had posted and I turned them into quests. And you can see here I made a little explanation for it just in case anybody wanted to read my thoughts on that. You can see here how I credited the original mod pack author. Thank you for making it, Bacon Donut. If you ever see this video, I really did love it and appreciate your work. If you ever do update it to 1.7, I'm probably just going to play your pack because you will undoubtedly put a lot more effort into it than I will. So I've got my 3 lives because I'm in hardcore mode. And here are the quests. A little tutorial thing explaining hardcore questing mode, and then the tier 1, 2, and 3 challenges. Now the tier 1 and 2 challenges are finished. I got all of those except for one tier 2 quest that was just not translatable. And then tier 3, as you can see, I have not done yet. But I was really eager to get this video out, so I have not finished doing those yet. Mostly because a lot of them are not easily translatable to quests. They have objectives that are very hard to define in terms of the hardcore questing mode mod. But the tier 1 and challenges, I pretty much got all of those. So, you can see here that they're all just kind of haphazardly laid about. I didn't try very hard to put them together into a sequence. A few of them are in sequence because a few of them made sense to be in a sequence, but most of them, as I think Bacon Donut intended, are just meant to be completed whenever you get around to them. Whenever you're able to put things down in your world or make certain items because you suddenly have the resources for it, that's when they're intended to be completed. A few of them are in a line because a few of them did make sense to be in a line, so I went ahead and put them as a chain of quests. And you can see here the tier 2 challenges are laid out basically the same way. There's a few of them that are a line, you can see here, but not very many. Most of them just complete whenever I get to them. So, here I am on top of my tree. I'm going to begin breaking down a little bit here. Let me just lower the volume on Minecraft because it's going to be pretty loud. As anybody who's played Skyblock before will be able to tell you, you have to be very sparse with the resources that you use up. You don't get a lot to start with on purpose, and you're not going to get a lot to use in general. So you have to be very careful with how you use your materials. And I'm just going to start off with ex nihilo here, grabbing myself hopefully some saplings and some apples. A silkworm or 2 if I'm lucky. Food would be nice. As anybody who's played Skyblock before will tell you, food is essential to get started at some point with, because you don't have the land that you would have in a normal Minecraft world to play with. You don't have the resources that you have in a normal Minecraft world to play with. So it's just something you have to kind of try and struggle with for a little bit until you can get a good place going. I'm so sad to see several of the saplings there just falling down into the void, but it is something that is unfortunately a fact with Skyblock. I didn't add any kind of a anything to the mod pack that wasn't already there from when Bacon Donut made it. So any mods that are there are mods that he decided should go in the original pack, except for, of course, the Hardcore Questing Mode mod, which I put in there to mimic the challenge book that he made in the latest version of the pack. And then also, the one mod that I did add because I thought it just made sense in Sky Factory is I put in Mechanism. Since you use Mechanism to make factories in Minecraft, I figured in a mod pack called Sky Factory, I had to put that in. So, let me just make a basic platform here. If you have never played Skyblock before, you can see that I'm going to use half slabs for my floor. That's just how you play Sky Factory maps, because you don't get too many blocks to start off with, and so it matters a lot how you use the few blocks that you do start with. And then also, of course, if you put them on the bottom half of normal blocks, monsters can't spawn there. So as long as I build the main platform out of blocks on the bottom half, I won't have any monsters spawning anywhere that I don't intend them to. I accidentally double tapped there, so let me try to get those back. Yeah, good, I got both of them back. So, now we're at the part in Sky Factory in particular, but in Skyblock in general, where I have to wait for this tree to grow. And as soon as it does, I'll get some more wood to make some more floor, or to make some more resources. And this part's really boring to watch, so I'm going to do a cut here, and then I'm going to get back with you as soon as I've broken down a few trees to get a little bit of things going. Alright, and so I'll be right back. So I thought I'd run people through the Beginner 4 challenges in case they have never played in Hardcore Questing mode before. They are the basic quest book, oak plank, QDS, and how to submit things to it. So let's look at the first one here. You can see, since I have gotten some wood before, this is just a detection quest that tells you how to turn things in for detection type quests. It sees that I have gotten an oak wood plank, so it is complete. I can claim my reward, which is 1 oak wood plank. You can see it just popped in right there. And that quest is over. So then I can move on to this next one. You can see it requires me to make a plank and then use the manual submit button there if you'd like to read what I wrote for it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn this into oak wood planks. You can see I've already got a few there from the couple of trees that I've broken down. And then I'm going to click the manual submit button. One of my oak wood planks disappeared. I get another one back. So that's the very simple reward that I set up for myself. So I'm just going to put that with the others. And go back. And then the third one, you can see it requires me to make a crafting table. It sees that I have made a crafting table because there's one right over there in the world, of course. It was the first thing that I made. And it's going to give me some planks, the QDS, and a hopper so that I can show you how the QDS works. So I claim that. And then you can look at the QDS here, and what you have to do is put it down in the world, put the hopper on it, and then throw the oak wood plank in after you attune it to the quest. And you can see that the reward that I'm going to give myself there is some bone meal to help speed up this tree business just a little bit. So I'm just going to throw down the QDS over here in the corner, actually this corner over here, and you can see right now it's got nothing on it. There's nothing there, it's not attuned to any of the quests, but if I click it, or go into here in the quest book and click select task down here, then the quest book itself becomes attuned to that quest, and then if I right click the block, you can see the little hardcore questing mode icon appears here. That means it's attuned to a quest. So if I then attach the hopper to it, I can then throw one of my planks into the hopper, and then if I come over here and look at the quest, you can see it's complete. And of course it wants me to give the hopper back to it because I have not actually earned that hopper. So real quick, I'm just going to make a very basic pickaxe so I can get that hopper back. think this will be able to break it there. And then I'm going to go into the book and click manual submit. Takes the hopper out of my inventory there. You can see I don't have it anymore. And now the quest is complete. I can claim my reward and get my bone meal to make this tree business go a little bit faster. As far as quests that are in the pack now, I am ready to complete one of the tier 1 quests. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. You can see... I haven't gotten any black dye. So I wonder what's going on there. Definitely haven't gotten 10 of them. I'll have to figure out why that quest is bugged. But the one that I am going to do is I'm going to make myself a barrel to complete this quest here. Technically, the challenge was to correct rainwater in the barrel, but it's impossible to detect that. So it's one of those things where I'm just going to be on the honor system. I'm not going to actually collect the reward until I finish the challenge. But I am going to make myself the barrel and place that down in the world. And then I will be able to... I don't know if these just don't show the breaking animation or not. Can't remember. Oh, yep, there we go. Decided that I actually wanted to place it over here on the other side of the tree. So I'm going to do that, and then put a block under it, because I just hate the way they look when they're standing there and nothing. To prevent monsters from spawning again, of course, I'm going to put a half slab on top of that block there so that it won't be a spawnable area. If I kick on the F7 there, the monster spawner, you can see that nothing will spawn. And then I'm just waiting for these trees to grow. So I will be back once that has there for a second. Somewhere. And as soon as I did the cut, I was like, wait a minute, I've got some bone meal. So let me go ahead and just apply a couple of things of bone meal to this tree, because I really did intend when I made that quest, made that reward, just to be sort of a getting started type thing, to help you along with the beginning part of the pack, because I can't stress enough, if you've never played it before, just waiting for trees to grow is pretty boring. So I'm just going to break down this tree with my crook, and the reason that I'm using a crook, again, just in case you don't know, is that a crook essentially acts like it's breaking the leaf block twice, so it's a little bit more likely to give you a reward. Different levels of the crook are better at it or worse at it. I've just got the basic wood one right now because that's all the supplies that I have available to me. So that's what I've got. I'm hoping just to get a whole bunch of apples, a little bit of silkworms, a few saplings to help me along there. So I'm just going to break me a few trees and see if I can get anything from it. Got a couple saplings, that's good. That's good. The beginning part is all about just collecting saplings and replanting them and then waiting. The other part, of course, is to get yourself some more dirt blocks. So again, Ex Nihilo provides us the solution there to the new way to do skyblock. I'm going to take some of these saplings, I'm going to take 8 of them, and I'm going to put them here inside of the oak barrel. And you can see there at the top that it acts as a composter, and what that does with materials like this is it turns them into dirt blocks. So I'm going to get myself another dirt block so that I can have another tree going, so that it's not quite so boring waiting for them to grow. Even with the bone meal, it's still good to just get started this way. You want to make a tree farm at some stage regardless, so I'm going to just get started right by doing it this way. So then I'm back to breaking the leaves here, just to get myself some supplies. It's still pretty boring, I feel, to watch this part. So since it's still going to be a while before I have enough supplies that I think that I'll do anything interesting, I am going to go ahead and cut, and then I'll be back with you shortly. Wouldn't you know it, I was placing down my second dirt block and starting to build out my platform, and I died. I totally fell off the edge right here, and then floated around for a little second, so I lost all that stuff, including that bone meal that I just got. The reward bag I haven't gotten yet because I didn't turn in the quest, because like I said, I'm not going to until I collect the rainwater, which was the actual challenge goal. So I've still got that coming, but I just lost all that wood and stuff that I've been gathering. So once again, I'll be back as soon as I get Never can tell whether it's a blessing or a curse. I got one of the bigger than average trees to get resources out of. Of course, when they are bigger like this, they do give you a lot more wood. It seems like this one only grew a couple of levels instead of the normal ones that are like, you basically need a ladder to get up inside of them. But I've just never been sure whether or not it's a blessing or a curse. If you have thoughts on that, let me know in the comments. Expanding the island again. You can see I've got a few more trees there going. I've been putting some saplings inside of the oak barrel here to get myself more dirt and more things like that. Since I'm going to be expanding the island again, I made myself a chest to put stuff in just so I wouldn't lose it if I happen to die again. So that's what you do. You just build chests to throw stuff in just in case the worst happens whenever you're expanding the island. And now I've got 4 trees up and running. This is making for a pretty good start to the island. Pretty standard, actually, but I still feel like I got a lot accomplished. I'm going to be working towards a couple of the other challenges. As you can see, I still haven't accepted that one because it still has not rained. My barrel is only full of dirt. But I'm going to start working on getting some string. So I've got a silkworm there. Busted down a few trees. I'm going to put the worms into the tree. I'm going to let a couple of them build up, probably all 4 of them actually, and then just turn them all into silk trees so that way I can get a whole bunch of string so that way I can move forward with Skyblock. So I think I'll do that next. I'll put them in there and then start recording again. Now you can see that all 4 trees are up. So I'm going to take my little silkworm here and I'm going to plop it here into this tree. Now you can see there that it changed from oak leaves to infested leaves. You can see the infestation has a progress bar. As soon as that progress bar is done, that leaf block will turn entirely white, and slowly but surely it will spread to all of the other leaves around it. And once they are completely white and 100% infested, if you harvest them, you will get string back instead of any of the other drops. You won't get apples, you won't get saplings. Luckily, of course, or preparedly perhaps, I've already got enough saplings here to continue the tree farm. So I'm going to wait for that to happen. I'm going to grab myself some string, complete that quest, get my reward, and then we will move forward with some of the other features of getting started in Skyblock. Because as soon as I have that string, a whole bunch of possibilities open up to me. That's where I can start making cobblestone. That's where I can start getting other materials for crafting projects. It's the gateway to everything else. So once I've got some string, once I start harvesting that, I will be back. So just thought that I would do a quick update here as it's going along. You can see this is what a leaf block looks like when it's been fully infested. This is the type of block that I can get string out of. You can see here that since all of the trees that grew are connected by a leaf block somewhere, that slowly they are all becoming infested as well. This one is pretty much all the way done, but it's spread to all of the other trees, and I'm just waiting for all of those to complete. And then I'm going to harvest myself a lot of string. I just think it would be fun to do it all at once, so that's what I'm waiting on. I'll be back once that's complete. It took about a Minecraft day and a half, but here we are getting some string. All the trees have fully grown, have fully infested. So I'm just going to break all of these leaves to get myself some string. And like I said before, what this does is enable you to make all kinds of things. It opens up so many materials that you can get from within Ex Nihilo because it opens up the sieve. Now, if you've never played before, you don't know anything about this, you don't know what a sieve is. What a sieve is it lets you take materials like dirt, also a few other of the core Minecraft materials, gravel, sand, and dust, a new thing added by Ex Nihilo, and it lets you turn those into usable materials because you break them out from within the dirt or the sand or whatever. It's like gold prospecting, essentially, in the river panning aspect. Except what you're doing is you're sifting through dirt or gravel or sand, trying to find usable materials that are available to you. And it's another one of the starter quests. not in the learning how to use the mod area, but in the Tier 1 challenges, it's one of the things that one of your first goals is to get this done. It's one of the only ones that starts off a quest chain all of its own, because everything else that was in the line connected to it is all directly related to the sieve, because that is your first step to pretty much everything in the mod pack. It's your first step to a couple of the quest lines there. So I'm just going to go ahead. I can spend some more time to harvest the rest of these trees, but I'm just going to go ahead and make the sieve because I'm excited that I can finally get started on something. I believe the pattern is like that for it. No, I have to make the netting first, which I think is just 9 of them in a row. There we go. And I need 2 of those if I'm not mistaken. And then I put those in the center of the structure that I was just making. 2 planks on either side, 2 sticks for the legs. There we go. Got ourselves an oak sieve, which is one of the quests. So I got the silkworms and the string, so I can go ahead and claim that reward. And then I've got the sieve as well, so I can go ahead and claim that reward. So I've got 2 quarter hearts here. As I said initially, I've got hardcore mode on, so I do actually have a limited number of lives to finish this in. I've died once, falling off the platform. To get some more hearts, so that way I can get myself some more lives, because if I don't get them all, if I was to die a lot, I mean, then I would get kicked out of the island. The world would just delete itself, because that's what the hardcore mode on this thing is. That's what it means. So I'm really not trying to die a lot. I think that's the same for everybody who plays Minecraft, but even more so when you're playing this version of it, because if you die, that's it. That's the whole world. You don't get to do it over unless you want to do the whole thing over. But that was my choice. I didn't have to set it up that way. I just thought that would add a little more challenge to it, because I've played Sky Factory before, and I didn't want to have that same experience that I had before, because the first time I played it, it was the first Skyblock map I ever played. So I really did not want to try anything fancy, because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, really. It was the first time I had done it. I was still relatively new to Minecraft. I had played a bunch of survival worlds, I guess, but nothing too fancy. And I really did not want any extra challenge at all. So I'm just going to break down these trees, get myself some more wood, and then I'm going to begin throwing the next round of saplings, as soon as they grow up, into the oak barrel, so that way I can get some more dirt, so that way I can put the dirt through the sieve and hopefully get some stones, make some cobblestone, which will again open up a lot more doors. The sieve is the first gateway, pretty much cobblestone's the second gateway, so I'm going to work towards that. And then when something interesting happens, or is about to happen, perhaps if I'm going to finish up another quest, then I will bring you guys back. Guys, look! It finally started raining. So you can see here, my oak barrel is filling up. So I'm about to finish that challenge legitimately, having collected water in my oak barrel. Now, of course, I haven't made any more progress yet. I'm still waiting for those trees to grow. But eventually I'll get some iron and I'll be able to make a bucket to pull this out of. But there's all kinds of uses for it. You can use the water, of course, as water, if you can get it out of the barrel, of course, and also there's a number of recipes that you can craft using the barrel. This is how you get clay. You just take some dust, which is not a normal Minecraft item. It was added by Ex Nihilo. You put it in there, and that's how you get a clay block. It's also how you get end stone, and slime and all kinds of things with just different recipes that you can put in there. But that's great. I was really waiting on that rain. I wish I was a little more prepared for it and that I had made a little more progress. Perhaps if I hadn't died I would be there, but I am not there yet. But this is wonderful. That's another challenge complete for us. Alright, and you can see here I'm about to claim that reward. So there we go. I have legitimately finished that quest now. Still got quite a few left to go. I still don't know why this one is bugged. I don't know, because I've never received any ink sacks. I'll have to figure that out at some stage. But I'm not going to accept it until I do actually make some ink sacks. Because that was the original challenge, was to make an ink farm. So, I'm thinking about some design options here. I don't want to spend all of my time over here in the tree farm. I think I want to leave this platform and start making another one off in one direction. So I think I'm going to make a few platforms out, one that way, in each of the 4 cardinal directions. See what biomes I can get into. You can see here right now, up in the top right-hand corner there, I'm in a plains biome. That's the one I started in. Over here is the plains biome, of course. Here I start getting into a birch forest. It's a very small biome, or it's very oddly placed. I can't tell, because depending on where I'm moving around the island, depends on whether or not I'm in the birch forest. But I'm going to make a platform in each direction, because ultimately I will end up branching out in each direction anyways. And I'm going to see what kind of biomes I can run into, so I can see what's available to me, because eventually I'm going to want several biomes for several different reasons to get into this Sky Factory stuff. So I think I'm going to start on that next while I'm waiting for these trees to grow, and then I will come back to you again. So, I went out in each direction about 30 blocks, just to see what I could find as I went out there. And it seems like that birch forest over there, that's where it comes into play. I guess it kind of curves around those 2 platforms. I didn't really find anything interesting, I'm sad to say. Out this way there's more plains, and then over here at the very edge of it, I hit a roofed forest. So nothing more interesting than plains there, although it's going to be good for when I get to the stage where I want to try to start getting some animals to spawn in. That out this way is pretty much all plains. There's a little bit of the birch biome that hits there, but it's pretty solidly plains this direction. So I think over here as well I will eventually put together my animal spawning area when I get to that, although that's quite a ways off. I'm nowhere near that. I added a second barrel just so I could collect some more rainwater while it was still there, because I will end up using both of these once it gets going. Still awaiting on the good materials to come down, but I think I'm going to start building off this direction. Like, this is going to be where I'm putting together the basic workshop type stuff, because the roofed forest won't add anything, so I don't have to worry about anything in that direction spawning or doing anything to me that I wouldn't really be happy with happening. Factory area where I will put up all of my Tinker's Construct machines, tables, stuff like that. Maybe I'll even build the smeltery over there once I get to that stage of where I have enough materials for that. I'm not sure, but that's where I'm going to start building off for all of my machines in like my main workplace type area. So I will get some groundwork laid for that. Alright, I got a little bit of a base going there. Nice, good little area. Put up a wall, so that way I couldn't walk right off the edge while I'm over here. Got another barrel set up to do some composting, in addition to the 2 that you can see over there in the distance that are filled with water still. And then I got the sieve set up. So, as I said, it's sort of the gateway to everything else that the mod gives us. So you can see here I've got a couple pieces of dirt. How it works is I throw the dirt in the sieve here, and then just right click until it's gone. You can see the percentage of the top is going down, and when it's all the way gone, I get whatever materials. In this case, I got 4 stones, which is great, because that is how I get cobblestone, by combining those in a pattern like that. So that's my first piece of cobblestone there. And that's really what I'm after right now, is I just need as much cobblestone as the game is willing to give me. So I got a few more pieces there. Second cobblestone. It really is how we start doing basically everything else in the Skyblock map. This is the way to start it off. Is just to get several pieces of cobblestone, so that way you can start building all of the things that you use in normal Minecraft, like furnaces, tools, everything like that. I went ahead and added some platforms up there above the trees, so that way they couldn't grow too tall. I think I'm going to go with curse, as it's kind of annoying to have to deal with, despite the extra resources. So that's what I'm going to be doing now, is collecting saplings, throwing them here into the barrel to become composted into soil, and then sieving them to see if I can get any stone. As soon as I have a significant amount of cobblestone, I will... well, I was actually looking at the length of the material that I've recorded for this first video, and it's a lot. So I think actually that's going to be the end of the first episode. I'm going to get back to doing some more of this stuff later, and do some more recording for the second episode, of course. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. Feel free to subscribe to me as well, if you really enjoyed the video, because this is a whole series that I plan on doing. Unless something significant changes, I'm going to go through every single one of those challenges, every single quest I've made in the book. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day.